Hey everyone, Justin Conroy here, and today I want to talk to you about the top 3 reasons why a credit card is important to have in your wallet. Let's go ahead and get started. Kicking this off with number 3, which is one of the more popular reasons that people get credit cards in the first place, and that is the rewards programs. Rewards programs, of course, come in all different shapes and sizes. You can get points, you can get cash back, you can get airline miles, hotel miles, gas points. You name it, whatever floats your boat, there's probably a points program out there for you. Personally, myself, I'm really a big fan of the cashback rewards programs because depending on your spending habits, you can actually stand to make a lot of money off of just buying the things that you normally buy every day. Take your average American, for example, making about $50,000 a year. Assume $10,000 of that goes to the IRS for taxes. Another $10,000 goes into things that you can't really put on a credit card. And so you have $30,000 left over if you're living paycheck to paycheck that you're going to just be swiping away buying normal everyday things like food and groceries. Take that $30,000 and then apply a 2.5% average cashback that you could possibly get depending on the credit card you're using and whatever programs they have going on at the time, obviously. And you're looking at making somewhere around $750 on average per year. Now, $750 really isn't that much money in the long run for the average American, but that's a lot of tanks of gas, that's a lot of food for your family. That could even be a car payment or two, depending on what kind of car you have. The point is, this is easy money that you don't want to leave on the table. As long as you can pay your bill on time and never pay any interest on the card, it's basically just free money. So at the end of the day, rewards programs are great, but the value that you're actually getting from the credit card from those rewards programs can be minuscule in terms of the other things that I'm going to talk about. So let's go ahead and move on to number 2. Number 2, of course, is consumer protections. Now, if you don't know much about the consumer protections that your credit card offers, I highly suggest you take a look at your credit card agreement. Depending on the card you have, there's varying levels of protection that are offered, but to name a few, there's fraud protection, there's consumer protection, price protection, rental car insurance, travel insurance, extended warranties. There's all kinds of protections that may be available to you that you're not even aware of and you might not even be taking advantage of. I won't get into the details of all of those today, but the one that I do want to talk about is the fraud protection. Basically, fraud protection works like this. If somebody gets a hold of your credit card or your credit card number and makes fraudulent purchases on that card, you are not responsible for them as long as you notify the credit card company that they're actually fraudulent charges. Oftentimes, in fact, credit card companies will notice fraudulent charges before you do because they know your spending habits, and as soon as they see something that's out of pattern, they'll freeze your card and give you a call or send you a text and let you know that something's up. Now, some people will argue that debit cards also have fraud protection, and they do. But credit cards and debit cards are governed by 2 different legal entities. Basically, what it comes down to is that if you use a credit card, you are only liable for up to $50 in fraudulent charges. And most credit card companies will get rid of all fraudulent charges just to make sure you stay happy as a customer, because they, of course, make money off of the fact that you use their card. Debit cards, on the other hand, only give you protection based on how soon you report a fraudulent charge. So up to 2 days, you're liable for $50. Up to 60 days, you're liable for $500, and after 60 days, you have no protection whatsoever. So if a fraudulent charge comes in for $5,000 and you don't even notice it for some reason, you're out of luck. Hopefully you'd be paying attention to your finances a little bit better than that, but stuff happens sometimes, and credit cards just have a little bit more protection when it comes to fraud. Finally, the number 1 reason why a credit card is important to have in your wallet is because it helps you increase your credit score. Now look, I know how boring that sounds. Increasing your credit score, big whoop, but here's the deal. If you have a good credit score, you can get better interest rates on some of your largest purchases in life. Take, for example, the situation where 2 people go out and they want to buy a house for $250,000, $250,000. Person A has a good credit score and person B has a bad credit score. Well, if they both go after the same type of house for the same price and the same loan amount, it's very likely that person A is going to be offered an interest rate that is up to 1% lower than person B. Now, 1% doesn't sound like that much, but over 30 years on a $250,000 home, 1% adds up to about $40,000. So if you like the idea of a rewards program where you can get $750 a year, how about the idea of getting $1,400 per year over 30 years? That is a pretty good deal. So how do credit cards do this? Well, they do this in several different ways. First, they decrease your credit utilization by increasing your credit line. Second, if you have a credit card for a long time, you can lengthen your credit history, which helps improve it. And third, as long as you're paying your bill on time every single month, you're increasing the good history that you have on paying your bills on time, which of course helps your credit score. Personally, my credit score revolves somewhere around 800 to 810 every month, just depending on the day and depending on what's going on. But the only reason I've been able to get it that high and above 800 is by having credit cards and using them properly. If you like videos on personal finance, wealth building, and money management, be sure and subscribe down below. I've got over 80 videos on my channel dedicated to those topics. Hope this was helpful. Have a good day, everybody.